Needle felt these adorable little elves and cross off even your last minute Christmas list. You're going to have fun, they're fast, and it's all handmade. Today we're needle felting these tiny Jolly Elf ornaments. They are super quick to make, cute to gift, and I swear it's impossible to stop at just one. Here's a look at the supplies and a quick screen grab for you. Everything at the top comes in the kit, including the patterns, which you see that we have 4 up on a page here for you going in opposite directions. And it's designed to fit on a sheet of felt. So you can just lay it down and transfer your images. But we're going to work with just one design at a time. And I'm using a slightly larger piece of felt, but I've also left a margin around my little elf, and that's on purpose. We're going to be using our iron-on transfer pen, which is a reverse of the image, so if that matters for you, then choose. I'm protecting my work surface with a little plastic cutting board and an extra sheet of paper, so keep in mind for your table or worktop. Activate your pen if it's new. This one is brand new, so just give it a good shake, and then you're going to activate the tip by pressing it into the paper, and that's the reason for that. And just make sure you're getting some good, nice, solid lines. Well, you will trace over your image all of the lines that you want, and this is a pretty simple outline, so we're just going to work our way around the design. Just a few tips. You do want enough ink on your design, outline, whatever it is, so that you get a nice transfer, but you don't want to dull your tip. They will wear down over time and you need to replace them, but you don't need to beat it up. And you usually can get a few transfers from each pressing. You'll see, I'll show you here in a minute. And in any design, these pens are just so handy. I found them when I very first started felting, and to me, they have just been a game changer for getting the perfect design for whatever you're wanting to transfer onto fabric or felt for felting. Okay, so we're going to put our piece of felt down, and I like to heat up the surface first with my iron. So get that nice and warm, and then we're going to put our design face down where you want it. Again, I'm leaving a little bit of a margin on purpose, and this is subjective, completely up to you. We're using our iron on the dry setting and on the hottest setting. If your iron tends to scorch fabric, well, then you can use a little pressing sheet. But notice that we're not swishing it around. We don't want our paper to move. We want it to stay still. Generally speaking, it's around a 20-second press, but a quick peek. If you can't see all of the lines, then go back in and press a little longer. You know your image is transferred when you can see the lines through the back of the paper. And since I didn't already say it, this is just regular printer paper. Now, these were printed out of house, but when you print designs in your own home, just regular printer paper is all you need. So we can see our lines and we can remove our paper to see our design. Now comes the fun part, and we will start coloring our elf. I'm using a 42 triangle, which is a nice fine felting needle, and this is our peachy MC1 fiber. I'm going to just stack the fiber a little bit, and we're going to start filling in the face. I'm going to stay below the hat line because I don't want to build up too much bulk there. A lot more is going to happen. And mostly around all the rest of the face, we want to just cover that black line so that it doesn't show. It's okay if you take your time, especially going around the ears. They're tiny little parts, and don't even worry about them being perfect. I swear every one of these elf ornaments I have made comes out a little bit differently. Sometimes the ear is shaped a little bit differently. Sometimes I make the cheeks a little more wide, sometimes a little more poofy. It doesn't matter. But you do want a nice 100% solid coverage, and you want that face to be fairly flat. The whole thing is going to be needle felted flat, except for just the puffy whites of the hat and the pom-pom. So take your time, and don't be surprised if as you're filling this in, it still looks a little pocky. You know, you'll see that you've got your hole marks or your needle marks and then other parts sticking up. The most important thing to focus on first is covering all of your lines and getting a nice, even or smooth application of the fiber. Each time I make one of these faces, I think it takes me about 5 solid minutes just to fill in the face and get 100% coverage. But then I could even nerd out and spend more time smoothing out all of the little needle marks. If you're new or if you're teaching someone new, here's the thing with needle marks. I like us to remember that the needle marks show how far the fiber can go down sometimes, especially if you're using the wow mat, because you can't poke the needle in all that far when you're using a fine needle. So just notice that as a compression level, and you want to get all of the wool compressed to the same level. If you spend your time varying your angle once you get it all filled in, and you smooth it out as best as you can with a fine needle, or even if you choose to use a multi-needle tool like I will on the hat. When you're all done, if you can rub your hand across it and it doesn't pill up or rough up, then you have it felted enough. So spend a little time. It's worth it. This is an ornament that'll probably get pulled out year after year and loved and appreciated year after year. So you'll want it to be able to hold up to that handling. And you're putting your little love and mark out in the world. So it's worth spending the time to get it just right. And again, we're just going for 100% coverage here. If you're working with batting instead of most roving tends to be a longer staple fiber, or what people call roving is usually a sliver or a sliver. This is a batting, it's short, and you can pull off little bits. So our face is covered. Let's make our hat. And for this hat, we're going to do something just a little bit different. So first, get approximately the amount of wool that you think you need. Spread out what will be the brim, and we're going to do the turnsy under thing that I love doing. This allows us to just tame all of our loose ends, and we're going to do it right there underneath rather than trying to deal with them on top. And then you get to form the brim of that hat just with the fold. It's dreamy. If you have too much, pull it off just like I did, and now there is no mystery here. We're just going to start needle felting. This does look like I have a lot of fiber on this little hat, and I do, but I really want 100% coverage, and that's the most important thing. And the second thing is it is kind of ideal for this project if most parts of it are flat, if you're going to attach the parts as I do. If you're going to use glue or something else, it doesn't matter. You can make it as bulky as you want, but we'll get to that in a minute. So again, just follow the lines here, and you can choose to make your hats longer or swoopier if you want. Really, we're just going for 100% coverage. I brought in my little Poquito tool, which is loaded with 42 triangles, and how you use this really depends on you. You can do fast pokes or slow pokes. It just depends on the pace. It works the same way. And what I love about using the wow mats for felting is it keeps too much wool from going to the back side. Finish up with your 42 triangle, get it all nice and flat and nice and smooth. Again, you should be able to rub your hands on it and it won't get roughed up. And with that, our face and our hat filled in, we're ready for our little expression. Before we put a face on our little elf, we're going to just put the fuzzy part of his hat in place so that we can decide where the eyes will go. We want the eyes tucked just under what will be that fuzzy part, so mark them with your felting needle first before dropping any color in place. This is going to make him look just very cute and very innocent. We're going to take just a little tiny tuft of black. This is the easiest way. Just plop it down, poke, twirl, poke, and twirl, and you're going to have yourself a perfect little polka dot for his eyes. All we need is the black part of the pupil, and that is enough for this sweet and simple, innocent little face. Now I like to give my guys eyebrows, so I'm taking a tiny pinch of the brown and twirling it between my fingers. We're going to just give him little arches. You want these either on top or to the outsides of the eye. If they're on the inside, he's going to look like a grumpy elf, which may be the case, but not this guy, not today. You're really going to find that your fine felting needle, especially something like the 42, is perfect for these little fine details because the notches are right on the tip of the felting needle and they will secure that fiber together without having to poke it too deeply. Let's give him a nose. It takes the tiniest tuft of the same skin color. You can tint it if you want to, but I don't even think it's necessary. Roll a teeny tiny little ball and just kerplunk it right on the face. I do want this to be a little knobby, but it doesn't have to be big, and it doesn't need any shape other than a little round blobby button, and that is just perfect. Now we're going to give him some rosy cheeks using rose petal, of course, and I'm just going to take 2 tufts and lay them right flat on the face. Needle felt them with your 42 triangle. This is perfect again because the felting needle doesn't pull that fiber too taut, therefore you're not going to have any lines or weird little pock marks. Now looking at these 2 cheeks, I noticed that one is a little stronger than the other, and that's no problem. We're just going to take a thin tuft of the skin tone, put it right on top, and needle felt it over, and then boom, these 2 are almost a perfect match. Of course you could hand blend it, but it's not even that big of a deal. The mouth is nothing more but a big eyebrow, really, and so give him a sweet little smile in whatever shape you want. I chose the same brown that I used for the eyebrows, and I think he just looks super duper sweet. Now we're going to give him the little fuzzy bits on the top of his hat. I'm using this bright white CX2 wool and this white Angelina. It only takes a tiny bit of each one, and we're going to blend them together just like we blend any colors. So we're just going to stack and pull, stack and pull, stack and pull. You'll notice that this Angelina is very, very fine and very wispy, and I think it is perfect for adding some sparkle to this. And sparkle is just what a Christmas ornament needs, don't you think? So this little stack will probably be close enough to do both the hat brim, fur, whatever you call it, and the pom-pom. We're going to put it on and make sure you have enough, and then we are going to roll it between our fingers and make just a little log, and that gets it nice and firm, at least started firm, to put it on the hat. We're going to do the inside outsy thing again, where the tail is going in, and that's just going to keep us from having to try and tame those loose fibers. Needle felt them right there, secure them. This is also going to give us a nice plump outer edge where it meets the hat. So tuft it out a little bit, meaning just draft it out, needle felt it in place, and then have fun shaping this little snowy, sparkly fur style brim of his hat. I think it just makes it so, so cute. And you do want it poofy, but you also want it firm. So if you need to add more fiber on, that's totally okay. Just needle felt it so that it has a nice density to it and it holds up again to being handled and put away year after year. I think it looks just darling. For the palm on our hat, we're going to make a tiny little ball, roll it right on the wool felt there, and that's going to help give us some shape and some density and put it in place. So, so cute. And just needle felt so it's nice and round. Now, the 2 things or the 3 things that I did leave protruding is one, the nose, a teeny tiny bit, the fur on the hat, and then the palm on the end of his hat. All of these things will add just a tiny bit of challenge later, and I'll show you that. Yours could be flat if you prefer, and you can leave these design elements off, but I just like them sticking out a tiny bit, and I think it looks really quite sweet. So, so cute. Of course, you can needle felt the ball before you put it on if you want, but if you leave it a little bit loose, it's easier to needle felt it onto this wool felt. And I like to just get it nice and super round. Peeling it off our mat is very easy. Just pull at a nice shallow angle, and you can see very little fiber is in the wow mat. Super clean, very durable, and very little made it to the back. Our little elf ornament is ready for assembly, so cut him out. And I'm also cutting out a backing fabric. We're using our Stixie fusible web that's included in the kit, and you can also use glue if you prefer. We're going to cut out our Stixie so that it is just smaller than the ornament. You don't want any bit of it protruding over. So give that a good trim. And if you're going felt to felt like I am, I suggest trying 2 layers of Stixie because the felt is so thick. The Stixie wants to fuse to the side closest to the iron. It's a little Stixie Trixie with felt on felt. But cut this out, and then we're going to make a little sandwich, which is our backing fabric or felt, your twine, the Stixie, and the front of your ornament. Now, you don't have to make these hanging ornaments. You could choose to make yours a magnet or something like that, but I think they're just so darling, even for a little one-sided ornament. Super, super cute. And Here we go. So now we're going to want to fuse them together. I'm using a hot dry iron. I am using a pressing cloth, and you don't want to iron the white parts that have the Angelina because the Angelina will fuse to itself. It will smoosh it down. Still look sparkly, but it won't be fuzzy anymore. Take your time, and if you have a smaller iron, I wish I had my small Aliso at the shop, and I do at home, but a smaller iron will be great. And be sure that you iron it from both sides so that you get the fusible web melting from both sides. Check your edges. If any of those are loose, then you can hit them with the iron again. And if anything is not sticking the way you want, you can hit it with some glue or maybe even trim it with a cute yarn. Have fun with this, y'all. If you grab the kit, let us know, and let us know your favorite takeaway down below. Check out more holiday felting tutorials right here.